Welcome back to Stormy Daez, the podcast, where there's always a storm on the internet. Monkeypox, a viral disease affecting rodents and primates in rainforest areas of West and Central Africa, related to smallpox and sometimes transmuted to humans. How could have it been transmitted to humans?
I know. Burger King? OMG, welcome back to the podcast. Monkeypox is spread by close contact, girl, and exposure to an infected person's respiratory. My bad. Skin lesions or other bodily fluids. Monkeypox symptoms include swollen lymph nodes, fever, rash. No, thank you. What's going on, girl? Like, we've been hearing all this crazy talk, and now we may have to get another pokey poke poke. What do you think? What's going on?
Another unveiling of a brand new illness for everybody to fear and get a brand new type of jab for. Nah, psych.
Will this one come with a 99-cent cookie, or will we get French fries with this one? Oh, no. High C orange is my favorite, or maybe even grape soda. No, this is dead serious, girl. Like, when we look around at some of the photos and the images and just the horrendousness of it, it's really not funny. It's actually kind of like, nerve-wracking, because it's like we just had not too long ago a situation, and here we are having like a whole nother situation. Have you heard anyone in the area that may have come in contact?
No, not in our area. I've only seen pictures online.
And when you saw those pictures, what did you think when you saw those pictures?
It looked frightening and horrendous. It looked like the skin was kind of like bubbling up. And it just, when I heard it could last like 4 weeks, and just saw the pictures of the person, like all those like boils and stuff. Oh,
well,
no thanks.
According to like CNN, they made a little post about it, and they stated anyone can get monkeypox, but the latest outbreak is predominantly spreading among the LGBT community, gay and bisexual men. That kind of sounds like suspect. Like, why is it primarily in that community?
Yeah, and of course it came from Africa. They're trying to take out 2 demographics for the disease of 1.
Well, no, let's just break down the science of that. Why would it really be only spreading in the LGBT community? And first off, like, what kind of disease is this? Is this, if it's not a sexually transmitted disease and it's more like an airborne germ, what makes it primarily in the LGBTQ community? This is like really mind-blowing, because when you think about science and germs and how things are spread, typically it's like surface touch, or the inhaling of like respiratory droplets, things of that nature. I just don't understand why it's concentrated in that community. Like, do you think it's more or less like the partying and going club to club? Like, let's really break it down. What do you think?
I think that part of it could be scare tactics and fear propaganda, just to make people distasteful. But also, if that's a fact that that's really the community it's impacting, it could be from all those people hooking up on Grindr, not giving 2 ounces of concern. Oh no, not that.
We just hope everyone stays safe. Definitely, if you feel the need to take further action, such as getting vaccinated, we definitely have no, medical training to suggest not to, or to get vaccinated. We ask everyone just be safe and mask up. It's really getting scary. It's kind of like going back in time, and someone had made a statement Does this have to do with anything with gain of function or, I don't know, going to outer space and bringing back rock with germs? Like, why all of a sudden are these random diseases just popping up out of nowhere?
It's magic.
It's like, oopsie daisy, here's another one. But the storm is
Maybe
brewing.
not. Oops, daisy. Here's another one.
Oh, we're gonna move on. I'm gonna beat on my chest and forget about it. But the storm is getting bigger on the internet. What is going on with all this talk of stock trade? The legendary icon Nancy Pelosi has recently landed in Taiwan after the West said, we're gonna huff and we're gonna puff and we're gonna blow your plane down. Wasn't it Nancy Pelosi that told the athletes, go over to China and be good athletes. Don't mess with the Chinese. I need my duck sauce and all the things. Why is she kind of contradicting what she first said during the Winter Olympics?
Well, she sure went to Taiwan, and China sure wants us to pay the price for that, maybe, possibly, perhaps, like they
Yeah, but
suggested.
what now, my thing is, why couldn't they have like gone to, you know, a mutual safe place like Singapore is an Asian nation, safe place. Why wouldn't they like if, for example, if I'm a big power leader and an adversary who has similarities of power, I think that if they made such a statement, I would take that in consideration and maybe say, okay, we're going to postpone our trip. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are weak. It just means you want your citizens to know you take every measure to do what's safe. And even if you secretly flew, you're at least letting the public know, we're going to take a pause on this. That doesn't necessarily mean you're weak. It just means you're being safe. And I just wonder, what is the big deal with taking a pause or even doing something virtually? I just wish, we really knew what the agenda is, because I know a while back, Ms. Pelosi said, America doesn't have an appetite for war. But it's kind of like, okay, then why does it seem like you're scraping your knife and fork and getting hungry, girl? It's like, we don't want no problem here. So like, what is the deal? What is going on? And what's up with her husband knowing all about the stock trade and getting his coins? Girl,
Oh,
do you know how much
little
coins?
insiding trader information. Someone's giving them a heads up what to do and how to move that coin successfully and successfully and successfully.
Isn't that wrong though? Because kind of like we've been keeping track of things, and not too long ago, Pelosi had roughly around 25 to 50 maybe $1 million. And now all of a sudden, close to $200 million is the net worth. Crickets. How could you make that money so fast, so quick?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that my dogs know what's going on with it. And that's why they're barking, because they know that something ain't right. Something's sour in the buttermilk.
Is
Right.
Chanel giving us the tips and the tricks? She's like, this is what's really going on. She's letting us know the tea of how to get your coin through the stock. No shade. I have respect, for Martha Stewart. I remember when, they gave her a little inside tip and said, Martha, you gotta move your coin, girl. It might crash. And Ms. Martha snatched her coin. Ended up going to prison, did her time, came back better, fabber. That's a totally different story when you shift your money and you shift your assets. Okay, you pay a penalty. This is darn right like cheating and monopoly and trumping and takeover. Like, if there's a takeover, what's left for the rest of the people?
Get, bring me my coin, run me my money. 200 mil. What's that about?
Get that fur now. Um, yeah, they're collecting, yo. They're like getting paid. I mean, I wish I had 200 mil. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily like. I mean, I don't know what I would do. What would you do in that position, girl, if you had all of the access laid right in front of you? What do you think it's easy? Like what would you do in that position?
I think it's about being connected. And I think if I had that kind of money, I would definitely make some investments, like solid investments that'll pay off over a while.
But the
But I
question
guess
is if all the
when you're privy to certain information, you can
but
come
that's what
out
I'm
way
saying.
with
If you had all of that information laid on the table, you could donate here, you can invest here. What would you do? Would you do what it's suspected that they're doing, or would you be fair? Is it tempting? Like, is it
I'd
like
be worried. I'd be worried about a paper trail and getting caught, knowing me. I'd be all worried,
exactly?
like, oh, the hounds are gonna come a sniffing. They're gonna come find what I did.
Should there be an should there be an investigation, or what do you think? Just play it all out.
I guess it's not for me to say, not for me to handle. I'm sure people have eyes on the situation.
Oh well, we'll find out in a due time. Um, Next storm, here's a lightning bolt. Gina too says for years she thought she was getting tested for HIV whenever she got an STD check. But that wasn't the case, girl. A recent breakdown of her body led to her finding out she had AIDS. Girl, this has been all over the blogs. According to TMZ, Gina has gone viral on social media, telling her story and urging the importance of young people getting tested. What's your thoughts on this story?
I think that it involves Hollywood singers and celebrities and Instagram models. That's my take on it. Like that, it's a dangerous life, and maybe everything isn't that glitters isn't golden on both ends of it.
Well, that's pretty much a true statement, and we all know that things that doesn't always seem to be real, we always should probably take necessary precaution. Um, I'm just wondering how you could go so long without and without offending anyone. We support everyone here at Valdez TVE. We do like to have a little fun. Science is one of our favorite genres. However, we really are just curious, especially being like a female, there would have been certain signs and symptoms that would have related to her diagnosis. I do know there are people who are very healthy and take very good care of themselves. But the question is, can you really go that long without having any symptoms and not knowing?
Well, there was definitely symptoms. She
And
got very frail, and it's very
that was
heartbreaking.
towards her announcement, though. That was towards the announcement when she made that announcement. And people are speculating that the only reason why that announcement was made is because of leaks. But prior to that moment and that announcement, do you think there would have been, signs that would have
I would
warned to
imagine
that?
all those years and years, I would imagine there would have to be some kind of outbreaks or some kind of symptoms.
So she has been related to Chris Brown, that legendary moonwalker, and a host of other celebrities. What do you think about that? Like moving into that type of circuit? I mean, people think that because you're a celebrity, you're like untouchable and almost godlike. I've heard stories about this before. Celebrities just, not being really safe and being ratchet. I mean, what's your take on the celebrity life?
once again, I got to emphasize all the glitters isn't golden. And just because you like how something looks doesn't mean you have to indulge in it.
But
And that's from
the celebrity
celebrities and the models that entertain them. Like they're
celebrity
seeing this great, wonderful life, and the celebrities are seeing these hot, beautiful Instagram models, and they're flying them out and they're hanging out and kicking it. And it's like a rotating cycle. And not everyone's healthy just because they look very cute and pretty.
But what makes an Instagram model? That's another question. Like, okay, so you have likes and you look great. That just instantly makes you an Instagram model.
I guess
Okay.
if they want that Instagram model lifestyle of where they're modeling themselves in barely naked clothes, trying to like hope that rich men so they could try to get a bag, and you know how it goes.
But
And then the guys see them and
I kind of figured that in order to really be an Instagram model, Instagram would have to be like paying you or like you have some form of partnership. Like, how do you necessarily become like an Instagram model? Like, if I was to say I'm a Ford model, like I'm obviously working with Ford truck or car and I'm driving around and I'm smiling, etc. And they're paying me for that. Like, how do you become like an IG model and how did that become like a thing? And I kind of feel like if IG is not like paying you or you have a partnership with them, like, are you really an IG model?
I guess you're modeling on their site, but you're modeling yourself and you're
Right. It's so peculiar. And you're right. I've heard of, celebrities flying these quote unquote IG models out, and I guess they're just making it hot. Well, there you go. I mean, that was quite a storm. I'm not really sure about the Gina 2 situation. Being a part of the LGBT community, I've definitely seen a measure of people who have talked to me in confidence and have shared stories. And typically, like when you do first maybe contract the virus, you may get like flu-like symptoms. Sometimes there's like a rapid weight of loss. When you lose weight rapidly. Sometimes women may get like, different rashes or yeast infections. I don't want to take away from people's health who are living healthy with the virus, but I just am not 1000%, for certain there may have been like zero symptoms, but we wish Gina to, all the well for her. We want her to be healthy. We want her to be safe. We ask young people, please be safe and use protection, be smart, be wise. And, sometimes it is cool to be celibate. We don't talk about that a lot. And I just want to throw that out there. It's still cool to be celibate. Although we see, adult entertainment all over our screens, from our laptop to the television.
just
It's
everywhere.
everywhere. I mean, it's still cool to be celibate, teaching kids about gender identity. I mean, I got into a whole argument. Here I am, Storm, the icon. JK. Just being my regular self, having a conversation on the internet with somebody, going back and forth on a post. And I had agreed, I don't think, and here I am trans identified, stating, I don't think children necessarily need to know about gender identity and sexuality. I am a non-binary person. So kids call me them, they, theirs. I just think that's a bit much. And I got railed, girl, with just
Oh,
nothing else, just straight railed. And they came for me and they were reading for me. And I was like, geez, ouch. And I don't, if there's nothing against the LGBT community, but we don't have to shove it down their throats. And we all just need to be safe and wise up, be smart. And, let's just add more love into the world, more love into the universe, and just be happy. I'm feeling very hippie like, man, just be happy. And on that note, I'm out. It's getting wet. The storm is wild. Always on the internet with Stormy Daez. We're out. Juices.
bye.